Good afternoon, TK. So for today's English lesson, we're going to be doing a little review about informational texts and the main idea. Okay, so last week we were talking about main idea and how oftentimes when we want to discover or learn about a main idea, we can find it easily through informational text. So if you remember last week, we read the book about mighty spiders, right? And that was an informational text because it was a book that gave us information all about spiders, right? And so then when we wanted to think about and discover what the main idea of that story or that text was, we were able to identify that the main idea of that story or the text was all about spiders. What was the main idea? The whole book, the thing that we looked at and talked about on every single page was this word. We heard the word spiders. So that gives us a clue that for that informational text, the main idea, what the book is mainly about was about spiders, right? So today we are going to do a little review on the main idea by reading a social studies book called Why We Have Rules, okay? And sometimes you can listen in for a clue on the title of the book, like I mentioned last week, and you can sort of start to think about and get a little clue about what the main idea of the book is going to be. So when we are done with this book, we are going to talk about what might possibly be the main idea of this informational text. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm going to just come a little closer to the screen so that you guys can see the book better and you can hear me just a little bit better as well. Okay, so this is just a social studies informational text, and we have a bunch of these in our classroom. We've used them in centers before, but I don't think I've ever assigned this one to you guys. So we are going to start. So this is Why We Have Rules, okay? And just by listening to that title, we know it's going to tell us why do we have rules, right? We're going to find out why we have rules. So some of the vocabulary that we're going to be covering in this book is stated here. It says we're going to be talking about help, share, and listen. Those are some of the words that we're going to be hearing in this text. Why we have rules. Rules help us work and play. Games have rules. We take the bus to school. Schools have rules. Right? We have rules in our classroom. There are rules when you play different games. We have rules at school. A rule at school might be to share. Are we supposed to share when we're at school? Yes, we do. That is one of our golden rules in TK. We have rules at home. A rule at home might be to help. Okay, and so there are some those words that we identified at the beginning, share and help. So do you have rules at home where you need to help? Maybe mom has a rule that you need to help make the bed. Maybe mom has a rule that you need to help at bath time, wash your own hair. Okay. A teacher has rules. We listen to the teacher so we can learn. Okay, so teachers don't just have rules just to have them. We have rules so that our day goes by as easy and nicely as possible, and we can get as much done as we need to get done in a day. Okay, that is why there are rules and procedures. What are some rules you follow? Okay, what are some rules you follow? Now, if I'm taking a guess, most of you follow rules at school. Okay, you follow rules at school. You might follow rules at home. If you play sports, if you're on a soccer team or a baseball team, or you're a dancer, you might follow rules at dance practice. You might follow rules at soccer or baseball practice. Okay. We we all follow different rules. Okay, so what do we think when we think about all of the things we just talked about? We talked about rules in games, rules in the classroom, teachers' rules, rules at home. What do you think we can identify as the main idea of this informational text? Let's take a moment to think about it. What did we read all about? Well, if I think about what I read on every single one of these pages, I can identify that we read all about different types of rules, right? We read about rules at home, rules in the class, rules at games, rules at practice, and all kinds of different rules out in our community, right? So also adults follow rules every day when we are driving, when we obey the traffic lights, when we stop, slow down, go. Those are rules that adults have to follow. Okay, we also have to behave a certain way out in our communities as well. We have to be respectful to other people and treat them how we would like to be treated as well. Those are all rules of society. Those are rules that we follow because we lived amongst each other. So the main idea of this text is why we have rules. We have rules for many different reasons, and I just wanted to do a little review with you guys all about another main idea. Okay, so hopefully you guys are getting a little bit better at identifying what a main idea is. But now I'm going to have you actually log on to your Kids A through Z account on your tablet device, and you're going to go to your assigned readings, and you're actually going to read this book called Nice and Not Nice. Okay, and when you're going through this book, it's going to be talking about things that are nice and things are not nice. Okay, so once again, use this as your clue. Is this book going to be, is the main idea of this book going to be about nice things and not nice things? Maybe, because we do look for clues in the title of the book or the text that we are reading. Okay, so this is not an informational text. This is more sort of a fun fictional story on nice and not nice things. So you're going to go through this book on your Kids A through Z app, and you're going to read along with your finger. Try to identify some of the sight words that we are already reading and that you might already know. Try to read along, okay? If you would like, you can first do a listen of the book, and then you can try to do a read through all on your own, and try to identify what is the main idea of this text. Okay, so thank you guys so much for reviewing main idea with me today. Tomorrow you will be starting with a new sight word. Actually, tomorrow you're going to be doing a sight word review, and then we're going to be learning 2 new sight words this week. Alrighty, thank you so much, TK, for tuning in. I hope you are practicing your main ideas, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.